I mean, it could happen. I mean, why not? If Crawford wanna challenge himself to be great, let him try to be great. So you know what I'm saying. I'm with it. So I'll be going for Bud. If he fight Canelo.
Maybe he's a little overrated.
Terence Crawford versus Canelo Alvarez at 168 pounds.
Canelo's really good. Really good. But I think Crawford is special. I know he hasn't fought the resume everyone wants.
Errol Spence Jr. has finally spoken out after linking up with Terence Crawford in training camp ahead of Crawford's blockbuster clash with Canelo Alvarez. Breaking his silence, Spence lauded his former rival's laser-like focus, relentless work ethic, and winning mindset as he prepares for the biggest fight of his career. The boxing world has been shocked by their unlikely alliance, symbolizing not only mutual respect but also a united drive to inscribe their names into the sport's history books.
Listen, however they rate me, it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, we got to fight, and I'm going to win the fight. As simple as that.
Can I ask you about if there's any rematch clause with this fight with Canelo?
No, it's not.
Is that something you push for?
No, I didn't.
And is any weight restrictions to the fight at all?
No, it's not.
A lot of fighters would like to put on a weight restriction to this type of fight. Why didn't you want to do that?
Because I want him at his best. I don't want no excuses. I don't want no, reasons why, he didn't feel good or anything. I want him at his best.
Errol Spence Jr. has tipped his hat to Terence Crawford ahead of Crawford's mega showdown with Canelo Alvarez, describing him simply as a strong dude. Speaking from experience after their grueling 2023 bout, where Spence struggled with Crawford's timing and absorbed heavy punishment, those words carry weight. Spence also drew a parallel between Crawford's current challenge and Canelo's own history of moving up in weight, saying that's exactly why he believes Bud has a legitimate shot at pulling it off.
I mean, it could happen. I mean, why not? If Crawford wanna challenge himself to be great, let him try to be great. So you know what I'm saying. I'm with it. So I'll be going for Bud. If he fight Canelo, I'll be going for him. I mean, I don't know if he's gonna win or lose, but I definitely be going for Crawford. I think if anybody can pull it off, he can pull it off. He's chasing greatness, so why not? Canelo came up to 175 and all that, and fought Kovalev and fought the other guy too. So I mean, if he can do it, and he started at 147. So I mean, if he's doing it, why can't Crawford do it?
So recently, Errol Spence just backed Terence Crawford to beat Canelo Alvarez in the upcoming fight September the 13th. And now you got a whole lot of people making a whole lot of noise about it, which is crazy because if y'all remember, Errol Spence, he been calling out Canelo Alvarez for years. Remember when Canelo Alvarez was still at 160, Errol was saying that he'll move up to 160 just to fight Canelo Alvarez. I guess because he's seen something in Canelo that he can exploit. And being as though that Terence beat the shot at Errol Spence last year, I guess he felt like he can do the same thing to him too.
Terence Crawford is taking a monumental gamble in pursuit of history, jumping 2 weight classes to challenge Canelo Alvarez for the undisputed super middleweight crown on September 13, 2025, a bout already hailed as one of boxing's biggest events. But when the topic of a rematch with Errol Spence Jr. came up, Crawford didn't hesitate. He flat out shut the door, making it clear the idea holds no interest for him.
Terence "Bud" Crawford is aiming for a Canelo Alvarez clash at 168 to become undisputed for a third time in a third weight division, something that has never been done. They're talking about Canelo Alvarez's 2 fights this year in May and September is going to be potentially versus Jamal Charlo and Terence Crawford in September on the back end. For Canelo, of course, we want to see him fight David Benavidez, David Morrell. Dig what I'm saying? But so I know, this might not be what y'all want to see from Canelo, but for Terence Crawford, I like the idea. It looks like Errol Spence is gonna do other things as opposed to fighting Terence Crawford in a rematch. So Terence Crawford in the gym right now, getting ready, staying prepared. And I would like to see him challenge himself versus Canelo. He done did everything else in the sport. And I mean,
Bernard Hopkins reflected on the punishing beating Terence Crawford handed Errol Spence Jr. in their first encounter, likening it to 3 fights in one that, in his view, took 4 fights out of Spence. Drawing on his own experience as a seasoned veteran, Hopkins warned that such punishment can quietly steal years, or at least the prime stretch, of a boxer's career. The damage might not be visible right now, he said, but it can subtly erode a fighter's future in the ring.
Crawford. Billy Crawford, even though, fought twice, throughout the year, Crawford,
But look who he beat.
Undisputed.
Look who he beat. Look who he beat. What he did to Spence, and how he did it. That's 3 fights to me. And it took 4 fights out of Spence, right? I'm a fighter, so I can tell you when you get punished like that.
Yeah, I was there ringside watching the fight.
It takes a few
was
years
different.
out of you. Don't see the years right now, but it sort of takes something out of that person going forward. They still can beat some fights, but it really put a bruise on them. You didn't see Spence fight yet, did you?
No.
Did you hear him name opponent for him to potentially fight? It's been quiet. You see the weight he gained?
Bernard Hopkins reflected on the punishing beating Terence Crawford handed Errol Spence Jr. in their first encounter, likening it to 3 fights in one that, in his view, took 4 fights out of Spence. Drawing on his own experience as a seasoned veteran, Hopkins warned that such punishment can quietly steal years, or at least the prime stretch, of a boxer's career. The damage might not be visible right now, he said, but it can subtly erode a fighter's future in the ring.
I think Bud gonna cook Canelo. I think he's gonna cook him. I think, Canelo a hell of a fighter, but I think Bud just got all the tools to beat him.
You don't think the weight difference is gonna be too big of an advantage?
I think y'all make that something, in certain fights,
Boxing makes it something, not us.
like if this was like a Benavidez, he's actually a lot bigger than Bud, so that would apply. But I feel like with Canelo, he's physically kind of big, but height-wise, he's kind of small. So I don't think so. No.
Corey, have you got a decision to stoppage? Because Brandon and Boozy think that Bud actually might stop it.
Me and Boozy talked about that. That's crazy. Me and him got on the phone and talked about it, but I think that's possible. I'm not saying that it's going to happen, but I think it's a possibility if Canelo gets to acting out of line and not understanding that Bud could crack too. So.
Michael J. White, the martial artist and actor best known for portraying Mike Tyson in HBO's biopic, is firmly backing Terence Crawford in the upcoming clash with Canelo Alvarez. In a recent interview, White dismissed the notion of Canelo being the favorite with a simple, decisive no-drawing comparisons to Canelo's bout with Floyd Mayweather. He pointed to Crawford's speed, agility, and unorthodox style as the keys to victory. White believes Crawford's sharp movement and masterful ringcraft could see him outpoint Canelo in similar fashion to Mayweather, despite the Mexican star's growth and evolution since that loss.
Canelo versus Terence Crawford.
Yes.
Do you feel that Canelo's gonna win?
No.
Really?
No.
So you would put your money on Crawford?
Yes.
You'd make money. Just put that out there.
Mm-hmm.
Why do you think Crawford's gonna beat him?
Because Crawford could find people to fight like Canelo, who is amazing. Canelo has he evolved. I saw how he evolved defensively and everything. I just don't think he's as fast as Crawford. And I think Crawford is just a little step ahead as far as movement is concerned. And so I think it's going to be Mayweather Canelo Part 2. That's what I think. Crawford ain't gonna knock him out, but I don't know if Canelo's gonna land very solidly on Crawford. Canelo's way better now, but I still think there's an edge. It won't necessarily be exactly like that, but I think he'll edge him out point-wise. All you need is that little bit of an edge, and I think Crawford has that.
Former champion Antonio Tarava has added his voice to the debate, expressing confidence that Terence Crawford can beat Canelo Alvarez if he can withstand the Mexican superstar's power at 168 pounds. Tarava acknowledged Crawford's elite-level skills but stressed that the real test will be absorbing the heavier shots that come with moving up in weight. If Crawford can handle that, Tarava believes his speed, ring IQ, and pinpoint accuracy could tip the scales in his favor and set the stage for a major upset. However, he cautioned that the physical challenge will be unlike anything Crawford has faced before.
Terence gotta be Terence, bro. He's a real deep thinker. He processed fights like nobody else. And he's processed this Canelo fight. He's seen it. He went through it 2 or 3 times already. He knows how this ends. You can tell the way he shadow boxes. He visualizing Canelo being right there in front of him. You understand? Look at the movement. That's all you got to do. Look at the movement. And that's the type of master boxer that Canelo is going to be facing. And the only thing I say is Canelo hasn't faced an opponent like this in a long time. You know what I mean? I think Canelo's going to have to go back to the Caleb Plant fight and look that good, that active, that, you feel me, moving with that type of grace to beat Terence Crawford. Because weight ain't going to make the difference. It ain't going to be the weight. It's going to be the skill set.
Israel Madrimov, who fell to Terence Crawford in 2024, isn't buying into the hype surrounding Crawford's super middleweight clash with Canelo Alvarez. Offering a blunt assessment, Madrimov said, "It's a very different weight class. Canelo will win, I think, by decision." He pointed to size as the decisive factor, arguing that while Crawford possesses power, intelligence, and experience, the physical gap at 168 pounds tilts the odds in Canelo's favor.
If 12 rounds, Crawford win, I think.
Crawford and Canelo Alvarez, what do you think about that fight if they did fight? Looks like it's up for September.
Good fight. You know, if 168 pounds, I think it's Canelo, but it's Canelo better technique because 50-50. If 12 rounds, Crawford win, I think. If knockout, it's Canelo.
What makes Crawford so difficult to fight against?
He has power, smart, in more practical.
He has more experience. He's very experienced.
Former world champion Amir Khan, who has shared the ring with both men, is adamant that Terence Crawford will have an easy night against Canelo Alvarez. Khan praised Bud's blend of elite skill, pinpoint accuracy, fluid footwork, sharp boxing IQ, and overall slickness, adding that Crawford is far harder to hit than Canelo ever was.
I think that Crawford could beat him because Crawford is a big 147 fighter and is strong as well, which a lot of people don't give him the credit for. I think that fight, if it does happen, as long as Crawford stays away and just boxes and be smart, he can win that fight. I think Crawford's a better fighter than Charlo, and he's a smart fighter as well. He switches and everything, so that would be a very good fight.
I fought them both. Like, what are the differences between them? Canelo's strong and he's easily hit. Very easily hit, very easily. Compared to when I fought against Crawford, I couldn't hit clean. They both hit hard because, and you can see the strength when I was fighting against Crawford. He is very strong as well. So look, yeah, but why does he need to give that much away? He's pound for pound #1 in the world. Why does he have to go for fighting Canelo?
While acknowledging Canelo Alvarez's punching power, Amir Khan insists that Terence Crawford can crack too, and that timing may play in his favor, noting Canelo isn't the same fighter he was in 2016. Khan believes that if Crawford can steer clear of Canelo's biggest shots, he'll win the fight with ease.
With Canelo, is it so substantially bigger than all the other fights?
It was like ×4.
Fucking hell. Yeah.
×3, 4, yeah.
Yeah, that's what.
It's crazy money.
He's such a draw,
so
isn't
when that deal was put to me, and I was like, it was about like 11M.
Wow. I didn't even want to talk to them.
11, 12, call it.
We appreciate that for the second. Absolutely, yeah.
11, 12 million, yeah. So when you look at that, you think, if I had to look at it this way, if I had to fight, I have to fight Danny Garcia, Patelnik, Zab Judah, Peterson, and maybe like a Greco, 5
all to make that much dough.
No, I think, and that's not it's not the fight that's hard, it's the training camps.
Yeah.
So when you get an opportunity like that, you're gonna take it because you know that it's only one fight, whereas instead of you taking 5 fights. Now, Canelo knocked me out, fine, knocked me out with one shot, you know what I mean? But you probably take more damage than all them